The following speech was delivered by Coach Strauss of Autonomy Debate on May 30th, 2015 at the San Gabriel Valley Children's Choir in Temple City, California. We believe it represents Autonomy's mission statement well and encourage prospective parents to listen to this speech. Thank you.
So, good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. My name is Eric Strauss. I'm a debate coach, and I've been one for the past 8 or 9 years. This is my partner, Denise Kimball. She's a debate coach as well. We both debated way back when in the state of California at around the same time, both of us in policy debate. And Kimball here was state champion. And I believe it was the same year I qualified for states in policy, but my team didn't go, which was very lucky for Kimball. Anyway, I want to begin today by asking this simple question: what do all successful people have in common? And I put here in my notes a few different answers. I think it boils down to 4 things. They understand who they are. They understand that most of life is about managing sets of symbols. All of you have sets of symbols in your hands right now and are managing them, right? They understand that they decide who they are ultimately and have to make some tough decisions. They have to sacrifice some things, give up some things, embrace other things. And lastly, they understand the need for ongoing growth. So I want to begin with these 4 things because I think that it's spoken about too infrequently in education. We don't pull back and look big picture. What are we really doing here, right? So my purpose is to make successful people, to make children become the most successful versions of themselves that they can be. And we need to understand that when we are working with students on abstract reasoning skills, we are constructing their identity. Who they are is comprised of how they think and what they think about. It's comprised of what they believe and what they disbelieve. So every time your kid's at school, their teachers are constructing their identity. So it matters a great deal that we do it right, is my point. In the status quo, education generally fails to understand the importance of identity. How many classroom teachers do any sort of real calculus of the effectiveness of that which they assign? I will tell you briefly about my daughter, who is 16 years old and who attends Temple City High School. At Temple City High School, she takes a history class. And this history teacher assigns poster after poster after poster, which the students are supposed to go home and make. Well, my question to the history teacher would be this: do you have some piece of information that leads you to believe that this is an efficient and effective way to convey information to the students? Have you tested yourself at all for effectiveness? I'm sure my daughter is learning history in your class. My question is she getting a high outcome to hour ratio or a low outcome to hour ratio? This is, for me, the driving mechanism of success in debate more than anything else, is to continually try to find methodologies that produce the best possible outcomes with the least amount of hours put in. Now, obviously, for us, the minimum acceptable outcome is for every student by the end of their second year with us, provided they're in middle school, to be able to be a legitimate threat to advance into out rounds at nationals. And by the end of their 8th grade year, to be a legitimate threat for national champion. This is not me saying big words. This is 8-9 years of history in which I have been responsible in a directorial or coaching position for 3 separate national champions and come very close on multiple occasions. My very best team, I believe, didn't win the national championship. Sometimes you get bad luck. I still think about that round. It was Dallas 6 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. And I still picture myself and that debater standing outside in the hallway sobbing. Of course we were. We had spent 3 years together. We were going to win the national championship. We should have won it. This is the coach you want, okay? You do not want the coach who says, I'm worried about your child's feelings. Let's not rush him into anything. We can't rush your child. We might frighten him. No. Let me explain something very clearly. Your children are not challenged enough at school. Your teachers do not demand enough. Your teachers do not produce an environment in which the students are compelled to achieve to the maximum of their potential. Miss Kimball and I will produce that very environment for your children. Okay? First of all, what it requires is a zero-sum methodology. Winner, loser. If Mary and Joe and Bob and Steve can all get an A on the test, none of them really care. If to get an A on the test, Bob has to get an F, if I'm going to get an A, Bob has to get an F, well, that makes it a lot more interesting, doesn't it?
Scary.
Yeah, scary. But here's the good news about debate, is when I have your children from the very first day, I explain to them exactly what will happen, what to expect. I tell them on day one, you are still children. You are not debaters yet. You are going to leave today's class and you're going to get in your parents' car and you're going to tell them, get me out of that class. It's too hard. It's crazy. This guy's nuts. And then I tell them, you are going to get beat up a little bit in that first tournament. Yes, you are. Best coach in the world can't make round experience when there is none. And then you are going to get better, and you're going to win more and more rounds. By the end of your 6th grade year, or if you're a 5th grader, you could win right away in elementary school. I have never lost an elementary school tournament in public forum debate in 7 years that we've been holding them. That's 2 a year, 3 this year. Do the math, I don't know what it is. That's how many in a row my coached elementary school kids have won the elementary school public forum competition, and we have never lost it. So, 5th graders, you can win right away. 6th graders, it's going to take me a full year to get you winning. That means trophying at the end of your 6th grade year, probably. Beginning of your 7th grade year, almost for sure. It rarely happens that we have debaters who I can't follow this arc on. By the end of their 7th grade year, could be in contention for national champions. Last year, I believe I had a 7th grade team that if they hadn't gotten a bad result in their first out round, even though they were both 7th graders, they could have advanced to finals easily. I saw the team that won. I watched the final rounds of nationals last year. I know my 7th graders could have beaten that team. So, that's what you can expect. And I will make sure that your children understand what is happening to them every step of the way. We want them to understand it on a gut level, we want them to understand it on a heart level, and we need them to understand it on a head level. Everything about our program is predicated on understanding. Our students will understand the warrants more deeply. Our students will understand the warrants more broadly. Our students will understand how to implement those warrants tactically in a round in order to win that round better than their opponents. Our students will go into those rounds more well prepared than their opponents. They will go in with file boxes with more cards in them. They will be more prepared on more arguments. This is what we do. I know it's the case because of the following thing. You can't hide in what we do. You cannot hide. When I went to an elementary school tournament, I don't know, a month ago or whenever it was, and I had one team. That's it. I'm in this weird time period in between things, and I had one team, 2 kids. I can't hide. I either go into that tournament and those kids are going to win it, and I'm going to prove my point, or they're not going to win it, and I'm not going to prove my point. So what do you think happened? They won it, and they won the next one too. That's what you need in a coach, somebody who takes it personally, who feels as though if my kids lose, I lose. When my kids win, I win. When my kids win, I thank them. Why? They've done me the great privilege of earning another victory, earning another trophy. Anyway, I don't have a lot more to say about this except you want your kids in our program. For the little ones, I do want to talk briefly about the little ones. 1st, 2nd graders, I'm super, super nice with little kids. Right? I'm not necessarily nice. I'm actually, even the older kids, even when I'm screaming, they know I'm laughing, right? Because I'm genuinely, I don't ever get actually mad. Well, every once in a rare while, but it's more like impassioned, right? Anyway, the little kids, though, I'm just happy to have them young, so I can train them without them really being aware that they're being trained. The meta stuff, the kids have to be aware of exactly what it is they're doing and why they're doing and what it means at all times. That begins older in middle school. Elementary school, 5th graders and below, I just train them. We don't need to talk to them about what exactly is happening. I don't need to actively construct that identity so much. Their brains aren't at that level of development. The little ones, we just want to get rid of all the fear, okay? So it's a wholly supportive environment. We clear the fear out of them young. Get them used to being in front of people and talking. Get them used to speaking fluidly. Get them used to pulling those ums and those likes and those ahs out of their speech so that they can go ahead and stand in front of a group of people and speak for a long period of time without repeating themselves and without a bunch of filler words and nonsense. So this is what we want to get the little kids. We want to clear out the bad stuff that people usually come to us with before they're all filled up with it. 3rd and 4th graders, you guys can compete in spar, but again, much more low pressure and easy going. I like working with the elementary kids. I especially like working with the 4th, 5th grade public forum kids. It's great, but I love the spar kids too. It's fun, it's relaxing, no big stress, okay? But what they do get is round experience. When they come out of those round experience, when they come out of elementary school with round experience, watch out. Okay? I've been doing this a long time. I know what I'm doing. I hope you sign up. Ms. Kimball, do you have anything to add?
Ms. Kimball's speech, as well as additional words from the 1st and 2nd session of the SGVCC Open House, will be made available after the publication of this video. Thank you for listening, and we encourage you to consider autonomy debate.